Hi, Tony. I think I was interested. Sorry. I think I've always thought that when you talk about seeking, that it's sort of spiritual seeking.
No, everybody, when after very early, when you're quite young, most people enter into the artificial dualistic world of being real. I am real. My mother and father are other real things that are happening to me. The world is real. I live in a real story. I have real choice to make my story better or worse. It's a sort of dream that most people live in. And if you go out in the street right now, most people will tell you that they are real and they have a real life and choice and all of that. So I've forgotten what you asked me.
Well, it's just, I think it was just that it suddenly, I thought, when you were talking about seeking.
Well, so in a way, everybody is seeking all the time. They're in the dream of separation.
And would you say that that is what the dream of separation, that is the definition of it? The seeking is the sense, is the sense of me, in a way.
It's a sense of lack, actually.
It's a sense of lack.
It's as though there's something missing.
Yeah.
And a part of that is that you come to believe that you are a person, or an individual, which some people call me, whatever, it doesn't matter much. But the whole energy of that experience, because it is an experience, because there now is somebody who is in experience of objects or life happening, all of that is in some way very subtly dissatisfying. A lot of people won't even know that or accept it, or if you ask them if they're dissatisfied, deeply dissatisfied with their lives, they wouldn't even necessarily recognise it. But the majority of people who live in that separate reality are seeking some sort of comfort or distraction or some sort of answer to why they feel dissatisfied. So virtually everybody in the world is a seeker, but there are people that seek at the level of religion or psychology or psychotherapy. And basically...
I mean, I sort of dropped that, but I sort of suddenly realised that it's, as yours just said. You know,
it's hopeless. It's completely futile. Yeah. All seeking is totally wonderfully futile. But
it is what arises.
But the apparent individual can't do anything about it. They can't stop seeking. They can't start seeking. There's no choice. All there is nothing apparently happening. And seeking, the majority of people, individuals in the world, they are seeking. Either distraction or an answer. And because they will never find the answer, because there isn't one, everything is what they seek, but because they can't find an answer, they get very frustrated. And I think what we're watching in the apparent world, it's not real of course, but in the apparent world, what we're watching at the moment is the expression, a deep expression of dissatisfaction and anger and frustration in the world. That's why it's in such a sort of apparent upheaval at the moment. But it's not, it's only apparent, nothing is real. It's what seems to be happening.
Hello. Here. But it doesn't mean that they can't be making money or starting a business or go skiing or whatever. Just
whatever activity there is happening is happening. But don't forget, let's be clear about this. What is being said here is that nobody is doing that.
Right.
It's just what's happening.
Right.
Whereas most people believe they are doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
And they also believe that, and this is quite interesting, they believe that there is a past and they have a past, and what they did in the past was either right or wrong, and they would blame themselves for it being wrong and also praise themselves for being right, whereas in fact they're looking into something that is never real. There's no past, there's no future, there is only this. Immediacy. There is only what is and what is not. But the interesting thing about that is I was talking to somebody the other day who was talking about their past on the phone, and it was quite obvious that they blamed themselves very strongly, emotionally, for things they thought they'd done wrong. And it didn't matter what I said to them about the way when you're very young, you apparently become an individual with an apparent past, and as you get older, so you start to blame yourself about what you think you've done in the apparent past. Whereas actually there isn't anybody, and there is nobody that's done anything, and there's no past. So when I was younger, I was quite keen on Jesus, I thought, when I was young, and in the Christian upbringing, and I went to a Catholic school because in the war you were sent to anywhere, and I was a Protestant, but I went to a Catholic school, and I learnt about Jesus at the Catholic school, and I was quite interested in it. And one of the things that he said is that I will forgive you your sins. There are no sins. And that's what he said. And at the time it sort of sounded a bit unreal. But now I recognise that in some way or other what he was saying is, because you have no past, you have no sins, you've never done anything. There isn't anybody that's ever sinned or done wrong or done right either. Because there is no past. There is only this. So it's quite interesting. That can be, for some people, quite a revelation that possibly they have no past and they never did anything and still aren't doing anything. There's nobody doing anything. Nobody's ever done anything because there is nobody. It's called unconditional freedom. By some people.
When I'm in silence or by myself, even doing things, I can feel this, but sense the no individual. I don't know how to say this. But when interacting or speaking, I feel I get pulled back into the individual. I was wondering if you can speak on this.
But there isn't anybody pulling you back, it's just what seems to be happening.
Yes.
But even in what you call being in silence, there's still a sense of an experience of silence. It's not always, but it can be.
Uh-huh.
The difficulty or what can happen when you talk, when that sort of thing is suggested is that suddenly silence becomes holy or significant in a different sort of way. There is no such thing as silence or sound. All there is nothing apparently happening.
So there's no significance in spending more time by yourself because
There's no
nothing.
significance.
Uh-huh. Or even what you do, there's no significance.
I don't do anything, there isn't anyone. There's no one there that does anything. A doing apparently happened, and it is completely without significance. It simply is what is, and is not. That's all there is. The trouble, the difficulty with the seeker is they're always attaching something to what happens, as though it will lead them somewhere. They're always looking for somewhere to be led to, or path to follow down.
So this takes away any deliberation, basically. Just whatever arises to happen just happens, and that's it. Okay.
This is frighteningly simple. It's so simple it can't be comprehended. It's just this. And it's just this. And it's just this.
The feeling I get now is, wow, I can finally be myself. There's no individual stopping anything.
No. And in a way, of course, there's nothing to stop because nothing's happening. Nothing began, so there's nothing to stop.
What's the difference between a sound and an appearance of sound?
Nothing. They're both the same thing. They are nothing appearing as a sound.
I'm reflecting on what does it mean then that there's no sound?
There's no meaning in anything. So there's no meaning in there being just a sound or the meaning or the appearance of a sound. There's no real, in another way, there's nothing, a sound is not real, there is nothing that is real. Everything is only nothing appearing. Everything is only an appearance.
Tony. So nothing actually ever comes into being.
No, there's no coming.
Nothing ever comes into being.
There's no becoming, no coming, no. Into being, no. That's a movement that
Yeah.
only happens in the dualistic world. There's no movement.
Yeah.
There's only immediacy, or what is
Yeah.
and is not.
So as we're saying these words in this very moment, nothing is actually coming into being.
No, there's nothing happening.
Yeah.
Which is completely inconceivable for the individual. This is completely incomprehensible.
Yeah. 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 Yeah, because it lives in that world of
No.
believing in becoming and
Yeah.
Could you say in some way it's like sorry, sit here again, Tony. Could you say in some way that it's kind of like a magic show, or like this illusion that I know there's nobody doing that or anything like
Magic for me makes it feel as though it's special or
that. Right.
different, but actually it's completely and utterly. The one thing that's absolutely stunning when suddenly there isn't anybody looking
Yeah.
is how utterly simple and ordinary this is. It's ordinary. It's very ordinary.
Yeah.
So magic sort of doesn't
Yeah.
fit.
Okay. Yeah. I suppose I was just trying to get at that kind of, okay, so nothing ever comes into being, not a single thing.
No, of course not, because that would be a movement
Yeah.
towards.
And yet, there is this, or apparently this. It just seems like, wow.
Mm.
There are the flowers there.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
Haven't you said that somehow something might appear as attending to this meeting for the apparent individual?
I'm not quite sure I got that. Say that again.
I think that you said once, or many times, that something might appear by coming to the meetings for the apparent individual.
Yeah.
Could you elaborate on that?
Only, well, look, all the time you live in the dualistic world of subject and object, then it appears that people come to meetings and they seem to be real. I'm not quite sure what you're asking, but the appearance for the individual is that there are other individuals coming to meetings and they are real, just as I am real, or the individual is real.
I get that there is no causes and consequences, but yeah, I can vividly remember you speaking about just coming to those meetings might trigger something that make the
I
feeling
think
of
that's a
individual.
misinterpretation of what was being
Okay,
said.
my bad.
If it's taken out of context, I don't know when that was or how. All the time there is an opening to this sort of message, which doesn't have to be at a meeting, can be in Balham High Street or up on top of a mountain. And there's a possibility that sense of opening, which isn't anybody's, can allow for the melting away of the sense of separation. But when it melted away, it was realised, it then recognised that it never was there anyway. When nothing is real. And that can happen in an apparent meeting or not. It doesn't actually happen. That's impossible to describe to somebody who's still in the subject-object world.
Hi Tony. I'm quite nervous to talk to you today. I feel really exposed, but anyway, you said yesterday to someone who was sitting over there that you can't escape unconditional love. And that really touched me when you said it. And at the same time I was thinking, I don't want to hear that at all.
No. You want to be able to escape so you can still survive. The seeker only wants to survive. So anything that's said can be turned by the seeker into another message which allows them to survive. They don't want to know that there is only unconditional freedom. That's frightening.
So the fear of unconditional love or unconditional freedom is that it's the end of you.
That's what the seeker would interpret it as. There's no end to you because you didn't begin.
So it's not me that's attracted to hearing this at all.
I think there are a couple of things, or a few things, that William is attracted to. One of the main one being, I'm going to get this, and if I go to lots of meetings sometime or other, I will get something which will take me to where I want to go. That's one of the main drives. But also with you, there's a fascination with something that is beyond understanding. You're fascinated by something, and you know somewhere that what we're talking about here can't be known or comprehended. And that fascinates you.
Honestly does.
In a frightening sort of way.
Yeah. It's fascinating that it can't be known, because I said it to you yesterday after the meeting, that I said love's arising, and you said, oh, this is all love. And I said, but as love's arising, I've got no idea what it is. And you said, well, when it's there, you'll know why you couldn't understand it.
Yeah.
And I was more confused thinking about that.
when the individual is done more, and there's a sort of aha. Sort of nearest I can get to. Aha.
I kind of want to share something, even though it might sound a bit silly. I was eating dinner last night, and there was 3 guys on a table opposite me in the restaurant, and I could hear their conversation. They were talking about their favourite TV shows. I don't even have a TV, so I don't know any of them. But I just started crying while I was eating,
Oh.
just listening to these guys having a conversation.
It's the human frailty, it's the human condition that's touching.
What do you mean, the human condition?
Well, the condition of seeking and the way people try to find some sort of answer to what they feel they've lost. And it's very touching.
Oh, I thought what was touching me was just the perfection of what was happening.
The what?
I thought what was touching me was the perfection of what was happening.
Yeah. Okay.
That it wasn't about me getting a need met. There was just, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tony.
You want the mic?
Well, I can speak without the mic if you can hear me.
I can hear you.
You're better with the mic.
Okay, great, thank you.
It's partly to do with recording. We're filming this
Okay.
and recording it.
Hi Tony, thank you for torturing us
It's not
lovingly.
me doing it, but anyway.
Lovingly, I
Although
guess.
I'd like to pretend it is, really.
Yes, and I'm surprised, and I have a similar sense as most of us probably, or some of us, I don't know. Today, felt quite at ease sitting just quietly yesterday, and I thought it is a nice 3 hours that I could sit quietly this morning. But as soon as I sat down, maybe it's got something to do with the wine I drank yesterday, but I don't know. I feel a sense of desperation.
Oh, golly.
Yeah, and so desperately, I know all the answers because you're.
Oh, golly, that's even worse.
I know.
No wonder you feel desperate.
And and your philosophy and that philosophy of this philosophy of paradox is impeccable, and really you can't ask any questions because the answer is obvious. So I'm desperately trying to ask you another question,
Yeah.
and I don't know.
What's the question? The one question.
The one question. What will be the, you know what? Yeah, I'm revolving around this. What you said yesterday, something about intention, and I'm trying to get my, I'm trying to get the thing in. There is a slit there, and I'm trying to get something in that slit and open it. It feels like that. I don't know. I don't know if that's clear, but anyway.
If you're trying to get that, you intend.
I intend. Oh my
energy.
God! How crazy we are intending, isn't it? All the time. It surprises me because I thought I wasn't that desperate.
Oh.
Yes. Thank you for sharing this story about crying here in the. That's a lovely story. Thank you very much. I really don't know. If
No,
I
that's
have the
lovely.
question.
Thank you.
I don't think if I have.
Thank you for sharing your desperation.
I don't think I have a question.
No, that's lovely. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for doing it with it.
I'm not doing it.
Thanks for not doing it then too. I do have a question. Because it all is completely random, as I understand.
Sorry?
It all is completely random, yeah.
Yeah, it's chaos. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's extremely orderly chaos.
It seems to be. Yeah.
Well, it seems to be extremely orderly. And you know, so I'm interested in mechanisms, really. So, because this chaos seems extremely orderly, I'm looking at it and I'm saying, okay, I get it. It may be an illusion. How do I know? Anyway.
If you think you get it, it's definitely an illusion.
Okay.
Nobody ever gets it. Nobody's ever got it. There's nobody who gets it because there's nothing to get.
That makes perfect sense. Yeah.
Oh,
I know. It does.
damn. I've failed again.
It does to me anyway. That to me that doesn't exist. Apparently, I guess.
That's right.
That's the. Yeah, but so the mechanism. I'm still desperate at trying to steer it.
That's all right. Just say it.
Yeah. Because you say that most people are not interested in that, and I get it. Most people are not interested in that message, but those people here, they're desperately interested in that message.
You can only speak for yourself. Really.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Although there is no self, but you feel desperate about
I
it.
feel
And there is possible other people do as well.
Yeah. Quite desperation is the English way.
Yeah, lovely, isn't it? Quite desperate.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. That's why I like Pink Floyd. Yeah. I'm not English.
I think only English people can be quietly desperate.
Well, I'm Polish, so I guess you're right. Yeah, I can't sit quietly. Okay. Yeah. So this intention thing, because you said that I'm trying to find words and feeling that seeker is like a disease, isn't it? It's the state of lack of ease or distorted ease, maybe. It's just words. So I'm thinking of, yeah. And it cannot be done with thinking, is it? So asking questions doesn't really change anything.
Well, that doesn't stop you asking questions.
Say it again?
That wouldn't stop you asking questions, I've noticed. I mean, nobody asks questions, it's what apparently happens. Don't forget, all there is nothing apparently happening.
It is exhausting indeed, yes. But thank you very much.
Thank you.
Does the individual realize it's seeking?
No, say that again.
Does the individual realize it is seeking?
It becomes aware that it's seeking. Awareness and consciousness only arise in the dream. When the individual's apparently speaking or asking or whatever, they are often aware of that.
I don't feel like I'm seeking, but maybe I am unconsciously.
Maybe.
But it doesn't matter.
Nothing matters. Nothing matters. Nothing matters. Nothing matters.
What about marmalade?
No, marmalade's an exception. I don't think we dare talk about marmalade. It gets too deep. It's too...
I was just, I'm here, Tony.
Where's your hand?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay.
Just hearing, playing in my mind with nothing matters, how it could be construed as that nothing is important or nothing matters.
No,
of course, is the opposite of what you're saying.
It's also that nothing matters and nothing is important. Yeah. Because there is only nothing.
Yeah, of course. I say of course as if I knew, but yes. Thank you.
Hello, Tony. I'm aware that I'm trying to understand my experiences.
Oh.
A few times I've been into a state where there is nothing, where there's no perception of anything. And then in other experiences, it's dropped away, but I can still perceive things. And those two they appear different to me.
Oh.
Experiences don't, they seem like separate things, and I'm trying to understand that.
Okay, so we need to be clear about the counselling.
Mhm.
This can never be understood.
Yes.
There's no question about
Yes,
understanding it.
I know.
The other thing is that it's, in my language,
Mm.
the idea of experience is only a personal
Yes.
thing in the dream.
Yes.
But when the dream is over, there's no experience.
Mm.
Do you understand?
I do
Or at
understand.
least
Yes.
hear that.
Yes, I do hear that. However,
So why are you talking about your experience? What are you trying to say about your experience?
that there's a disconnect between. I'm not having either of those experiences right now. Obviously, I'm just here, and this just is.
Oh.
I'm now confused.
Really?
uh,
Right. It's okay. It's whatever.
I guess I know I am seeking, because it was so beautiful. Both of those experiences are very, very beautiful, and I know that I am seeking them again. However,
Can you describe them? Because we're not
so
a party.
when in the several times. So first of all, I went to it through a violin note. I'm a violin player, and I traced the note. I didn't know I was doing this at the time, but I was very intent on finding where the source of this note came from. One note, a single note.
Right.
And I seemed to sort of go through the note, and everything completely disappeared. Then there was suddenly nothing. And then I came back into reality, and I just burst into tears, and I was like,
Okay.
and so that happened. And then other times, everything is kind of melted into nothing. I've been in that way as well.
They don't feel like experiences.
No, they're not experiences. It's just I'm trying to put words
So
on
there's a
it.
movement in and out.
Yes. Yes.
That
and
does happen. That happened to me.
Yeah, in and out, and then in the kind of other thing that I'm talking about, it's like in my pelvis, it kind of just the bottom drops out. I know that sounds very weird, but there's suddenly like a weightlessness.
Okay.
But in that experience, I'm still perceiving people. It's just everything is. And the two of those two experiences are not the same to me, and I want to marry them together.
Right, okay. I wouldn't bother.
No, okay. I'll stop. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, Mike here.
Thank you for sharing that. I wasn't sure how to explain what's happening for me now, but she kind of created an opening. I kind of feel spaced out, like not present, like not able to focus, and almost everything is foggy.
Body.
Foggy.
Right. Foggy.
Yeah, foggy. Like everyone here is foggy. It's hard to think. And it's happened to me before, and I get nervous about it somehow. So I just wanted to share.
Okay, thank you.
And see if you have
Only that you,
anything to say about it.
as a survivor, you are nervous about losing what you believe or dream is control.
Mm-hmm.
Seekers often feel that panic because they actually believe erroneously that they are in control of their lives. It's very sweet, but it's what they do.
Mm-hmm.
And if there's anything that challenges like this or the feeling of fogginess, then there's a panic about losing control.
So that's what's happening.
It feels like that.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Okay. Thank you.
Just to say that the idea that you have control is completely illusory. There's no control. There's no control here, there's no control anywhere. There's nothing to control. There's only unconditional love. You've got nothing to worry about, because I used to feel that, but there's always a sense that I would die into the arms of the beloved.
Mm-hmm.
If I lost control, which I thought I had control. Somewhere there was a sense that if I lost all of that, there would be something else there. A sort of universal safety net.
I realise that when you say sort of universal safety net, it's almost like listening to you, coming to you over the years. That's what you've held for me, the sort of universal safety net. I suppose there's, yes. So I'm, because I think you were just saying then that the universal safety net was somehow keeping the self somehow safe. Whereas for me,
it couldn't be any other way. No.
It couldn't be, but whereas for me, well, it's impossible because I'm identified with me, but it feels like you being there is sort of fundamental sanity.
All right, well, somewhere you're projecting this onto something here called me, but just to point that out.
Well, what you speak?
Well, it's more than words, but it isn't me speaking the words. It simply is energy. It simply is unconditional love. All that's being communicated here is unconditional love, in words or not.
Yeah, but the reminder that you bring, that is brought.
Right, it's brought. Well, that's more like
is I suppose the great safety net from.
Yeah.
Well, I'm stumbling over my words.
No, that's fine. That's all right. We
Yeah.
get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The great safety net does not exist.
Sorry?
The universal safety net does not exist.
No, nothing exists. Nothing is real. It's only apparently.
Hi, Tony.
Where are you?
I'm here.
Oh, right.
Hey. So nothing matters. Starving the seeker and perpetuating the seeking.
Seems to be happening.
Yeah.
Only seems to be.
Yes.
There isn't anything particularly starving the seeker, but the seeker's intention is meeting emptiness.
The seeker's intention is meeting.
Maybe, or avoiding it.
Sorry, say that last bit again.
Well, the seeker's intention is diving into emptiness or trying to avoid it.
And perpetuating the seeking.
Apparently.
Why am I here?
Oh, come on.
No, the apparent I.
Well, you might have a reason, or you think you have a reason for being
So perpetuating
here.
the seeking.
Maybe to find something or whatever.
Okay. So
But
the perpetuating.
you're not here. You're not here, so there's no.
Sure. Right. Okay. That's a given. But.
Oh, is it? Got it.
In this conversation, right? I'm kind of in this dance between perpetuating the seeking and starving the seeker.
Apparently.
Apparently,
They're
yes.
not real. Of course.
Yes, of course. That's all a given.
I'm not sure. I'm a bit suspicious of the term. That's all a given.
Okay.
It sounds like it's a bit glib, or it's a bit sort of trying to answer the question without answering a question. But still.
But is there this movement between starving the seeker and perpetuating the seeking? No. Okay.
They're not really happening.
Yeah. And then coming back to why am I apparently here?
I think we've already talked about that. Would you want a reminder?
I'm not here.
There's no one.
There's no one here, yes. There's still this...
Stillness?
No, there's still this...
Oh, yes. Well, there's only apparently this.
Yeah,
What
this,
is?
this play between the starving and the perpetuating.
Right. Oh my, really, because there's nothing there that can do anything about either of those situations.
Sure.
To follow on from a conversation we had yesterday about praying, and the idea that there's a universal safety net.
I didn't say there was universal.
No, I know. And I think when I said I stopped praying, I think what I meant was that I ceased to believe that there was a universal safety net. I ceased to believe that anybody was listening. However, praying continues. Not to anybody, because there isn't anybody to... It's just this, which is, as you've explained, and I might think as it's happening, the Lord's Prayer, the first 3 lines are Sat Chit Ananda, which is a Vedantic idea. But it's not going anywhere, it's just happening. So,
But only apparently.
apparently, yeah. And the idea of a safety net, was apparent as well. It's
Of course. Everything is only apparent.
Yeah.
Apparently.
So is God apparent?
Sorry?
Is God apparent?
Of course, there is only thing. All there is nothing apparently happening.
Yeah. So the idea of God is an apparent thing, yeah.
In the story of the apparent young Tony Parsons, I'm assuming that the parenting gave the infant or young Tony Parsons the feeling that there was a safety net. Here,
You could say that energetically, yeah.
here, the history in the story of this, there didn't appear to be, that in fact there was the very opposite.
No, okay.
But ultimately, if there is, I know there's no ultimately, it
No.
doesn't matter, does it?
I don't like the word.
Okay, but it doesn't matter, does
Well,
it?
nothing matters because
No, but I mean, it
there's
doesn't.
nothing happening, so how can anything matter?
So, but it can't. It was just an idea.
Yeah.
Hi, at the back. Is our
No.
condition
Not at all. And there never will be. Go on, sorry. I'm
not
making
even
it.
close though?
I can't resist being naughty.
Is our condition as apparent humanity, humans, is it inevitable? In other words, at age 2 or 3, our parents say, here you are, here's your name, you are an individual, you live in this box, here's our boxes, we're over here, we're separate. If that wasn't to happen, would we be in a state of awakenedness? Or, in other words, yeah, I mean, I can tell my dog that he's an individual as much as I want, but it's not going to sink in, is it? It's not going to alter his way of being. So
the answer is still no.
And one further non-observation is when cultures perhaps, it does seem to be more a trait of our own culture that separation is enforced on the individual. in
Oh
some
no,
way.
it's not. No, nothing. It's not enforced. It seems to apparently happen.
Right.
You're implying there's some sort of God or something that enforces.
I'm more thinking that there's a sort of perhaps unconscious conspiracy going on. That,
No, there's no conspiracy.
Oh,
There's no one to conspire.
Okay. So there is no state of, for want of a better word, innocence that is then.
There's an apparent innocence and an apparent separation. Neither of which have any significance of any kind.
And you mentioned yesterday that animals, plants, are in a, what was the term you used?
There's no apparent state of separation.
Right. And so are we saying that this is an exclusively human?
It It seems to be, but I can't say it is.
Thank you.
And it's not a state, it's simply apparently happened. Oh, you on the mic?
Hi Tony. When I leave here I think, well, what a bloody waste of time that is. And then all this, I can't see why.
A waste of time? What is a waste of time?
How
can there be anybody that wastes time when there is no such thing?
I don't know exactly. And then I go home and I sit on the settee. Hold on, I haven't said this yet. And
I think that's too near your mouth. I can't hear anything you're saying.
And then I sit.
No, you've put it again too near your mouth. Just slightly below it. Yeah, great.
And then I make a cup of tea, Tony. I bet you wish you was there. And then I sit down and I think, well, I've never been anywhere. I've never left this house. I've never left the house, and it's like I've never been here, and this is a dream.
Right.
So, like,
golly.
What's that? What's this then? It's like I haven't been anywhere.
There is no one.
No, I
There's
know,
nowhere
and I
to
get
go.
it then, and then here I just get angry and frustrated and annoyed. I think I'm not coming anymore. And then I'm here again, but I love it really. That's... Is that it, Tony? What do you think?
What do I think? I don't think anything at the moment.
Is that nothingness?
How can you think about nothingness? I don't understand that.
I know, it's
Beyond my comprehension.
wow, isn't it, really? Can't describe it then.
Hello, Tony. Trying to find the words. In a dream, there might be suffering. Then somebody wakes up, realizes, oh, that's not happening after all. But still, there is suffering. Does suffering not matter?
Nothing matters. There is only what is, apparently. Nothing matters. Because there's no time, no future, no past. Nothing is. It's a nothing apparently happening. And therefore there are no circumstances which require a future.
So does boredom still arise? Or does boredom still arise?
It can, well, it arises in the apparent.
Hi. In the dissolving of the seeker, is there an apparent dissolving of the inner commentary?
No, not necessarily. No. It's only the energy of seeking that seems not to be there anymore. It doesn't really dissolve because it's not real. It seems not to be there anymore.
So
in a conversation still go on.
Okay.
But not for anyone, of course.
No.
It's just what's happening.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Can it be that it's on hearing this message that the seeker just dissolves?
It can be. But only apparently. There is no seeker to dissolve, really. But
yeah. Seemingly that's what happens. I think I thought about it as being, some big event
Oh no, it's the most ordinary, simple thing there could be.
Yeah.
That's what's stunning about it.
Yeah. So you could sort of wake up one morning and something kind of apparently realises
Yeah.
there's no.
Well, not realised. No, it's not realised.
Yeah.
It's energetically that there is no sense of separation.
Yeah. So it doesn't have to come with a bang.
Oh no, don't. I would say invariably what I've heard about it.
Yeah.
It hardly ever comes with a bang, but it can
Yeah.
come with a bang.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks.
Tony. So you mentioned that thoughts still happen.
Sorry?
You mentioned inner conversations still happen. Do tensions in the body still happen? Tension in the body or constriction in the body, does that
Tension
still
in
happen?
the body can still happen, but it doesn't happen for anyone. There just is tension in the body. Anything can happen in that sense, but it's only an appearance, and it doesn't happen for anyone. So there's nothing that tries to take ownership of what's happening. It's just a sort of openness in which things appear to happen and have no significance of any kind. It's obviously nothing apparently happening. To know.
So the issue is that when it happens, we take ownership.
The individual does, yeah.
And then
The
that
individual takes ownership of everything. It's an object out there that's happening, and the individual takes ownership of it and gathers it into itself for further need to satisfy a need or to answer a question or to reject a question or whatever. But there's always it's owned for, and the seeking energy tries to make use of it. There isn't anybody that does that, but that's what apparently happens.
and that's what makes it real. That's what makes it
Well, for
feel
the
real.
individual it might do, yeah.
When really it's just a happening,
Apparently.
from nothing. When I think of nothing, I think of stillness, but it sounds like nothing moves, right? Nothing. So it's
Well, it's impossible. You can go on trying all you like. Give me a call when you think you found the answer.
okay.
But you won't ever call me, by the way. there isn't any comprehension of nothing. And yet that's all there is. And it's certainly incomprehensible that this could possibly be nothing. Whereas that's all it is. How can this be nothing? Look, there's lots of people and movement and all that. But it's nothing.
So this is the death that the death that the me fears is its own death.
Yeah, yeah.
And so in the natural reality, the me has died. You know.
Well, it hasn't really, but let's
Yeah,
say
apparently.
for
Okay. Yeah.
sake of
yeah,
argument,
yeah. Okay.
there is no longer a sense of me.
So in that sense, it's kind of, as from the me's point of view, as it would think about it, it would be like death, but still being alive. But the body mind still being alive, apparently. But yeah. And that's the death that the me fears.
Well, that's what you're saying, yeah. But that's nothing dies actually, but the me would naturally presume that it's the death of me. Yeah. Usually.
So if with this message fear comes up, it's that death that it's
totally. And rejection and suspicion and clever ways of avoiding and da-da-da-da.
It's trying to get away from that.
Absolutely, man. Yeah. Because for the seeker there'd be nothing left.
Yeah, 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 right.
And the idea of that is frightening.
Yeah. And the incomprehensibility of that is frightening, because it can't get its mind beyond its own
The
depth.
seeker can never comprehend what we're talking about here, but it has an anticipation or an idea of what that would be like.
Yeah, yeah.
I was thinking about what you just said to me on the break. When I said to you, when I talk to you, it's like being loved. And you said it's not like being loved. And I said to you, I think sometimes after I talk to you, that's the reason why I'll have a panic attack after I've spoken to you, because being loved, everything opens, and then suddenly the panic attack comes on to become solid again. But I was thinking, and then you said, when I said that to you, you said it's like, how dare you love me?
I said that.
No, you said that's how the me reacts. I talk to you, and it's like, well, it is being loved, and then the panic attack comes on, and you said that's like the me saying, how dare you love me? And I was thinking, what is that about? And what I thought was, because I was with Andreas last week, and he was saying the me needs an opposite to confirm itself. And what I thought was, when I talk to you, there's not an opposite to confirm myself in. That's the problem. Well, it's not a real problem, but
no, but it's what apparently happens. Yeah.
I talk to you hoping I'll meet another. And that's why it's impossible to confirm myself in the energy to talk to you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Hello. I guess there is almost a sense of being insulted when you're talking with someone, and you're not.
I guess a feeling of being.
A sense of being insulted when you're talking to someone, and they're not sort of doing this sort of personal relating to you in a way, like they're not sort of seeing you, they're not treating you in a personal way. You know, when I talk to you or I talk with Alexis in the break, like it's like you're not being seen really as.
There's anything to be seen.
Right.
I don't talk to anyone.
Right.
Just doesn't talk to anyone.
Right. Doesn't sit well. But I do remember you said at some point that this is like making love to a 600-pound gorilla. It doesn't stop until it's finished.
Making love to who?
A 600-pound gorilla. It doesn't stop until it's finished.
Oh, that was years ago.
That's just what I remember. Is the uncomfortableness about this that me isn't being seen here?
No, get the mic a little bit nearer, I can't quite hear you.
Is the uncomfortableness about this that me isn't being seen here? Is the uncomfortableness that I am not being seen here? Like I'm not being seen. And I guess that feels.
Whereas you actually believe you're important enough to be seen. And you want that confirmed.
Not necessarily. It's.
Oh. Not allowed to laugh, this is very serious. No.
So we're saying no thing, let's say, is sitting right now. There's no individual, so no thing is sitting.
Oh, there is nothing apparently happening.
Okay. Or you, Tony, aren't talking. It's nothing talking. So there's talking and sitting, but now it sounds like that's not even happening.
Well, it's only apparently happening. The word is apparent. It's an appearance. It's nothing appearing to sit on a chair.
Okay.
Nobody here is sitting on a chair. There just is apparently sitting on a chair happening.
Happening.
But there may be also people here who believe they are sitting on a chair. That's also nothing apparently happening.
So I guess in the confusion in my mind is and you're gonna say it sounds so stupid, but is sitting happening?
Only apparently. The word you're still not hearing is apparently.
It's a very difficult
It's an
word.
appearance.
An appearance.
Only. It has no substance of any kind.
But the appearance is the appearance. But there's no substance to
No,
it.
it's not real. It's unreal.
It's unreal.
It is what is
Okay.
and is not.
So it is what is and is not. And it's happening, but not the way we normally think
No,
it's
it's
happening.
apparently happening.
Yeah, the apparently is
It
still
is what
very
is
difficult.
not, apparently being what is.
So it is what's not apparently being what is.
Sorry about that. You'll never comprehend it. Don't try and work it out.
Okay. That is what's
And
keeping
if you do want to try and work it out, come round in about 10 years' time when you've given up and we can talk again.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. So am I trying to understand it as the exact seeking that you're talking about, that you're explaining?
You can't understand. You'll never understand.
Right.
I don't understand this.
You don't?
It doesn't make sense.
Okay.
It's a total and utter paradox.
And you don't care that you don't understand it? Okay.
Why would I care if there's no one here to care?
Okay.
The seeker would care if they don't understand it, because they're trying to work out an answer.
The apparentness and the nothingness are just it's words, isn't it? But it's just one thing, as it were.
Yeah.
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 You're looking at nothing.
Yeah. 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 So everything in this room, all of us, are the nothingness and the apparentness, as it were.
As far as the separate individual is concerned, there are people in this room.
Yeah. Yeah.
That seem to be real. Just like I am, or
yeah.
They are.
Yeah. But from where you're sitting, as
No,
it were.
from where I'm sitting, I'm not sitting anywhere.
Yeah.
All there is what is.
Yeah. And nothing and no one decided to show up today. It's just
what's apparently happening.
Just what happened.
And when you walk out of here, there'll still be nothing apparently happening. When you go home and open the door to wherever you live, there'll still be nothing happening. Apparently happening. That's all there is. Wherever you go, whatever you think you do, it's still only nothing apparently happening. It has no meaning or purpose of any kind. It simply is what is, apparently. It's incredibly, frighteningly, wonderfully, stunningly simple.
Yeah.
What you long for and what you seek all over the world, and are all over all sorts of meetings and discussions and ideas is something just utterly and completely simple and obvious. And it's all never gone away.
Yeah.
You have.
Yeah. No, it's always only been.
It's always
that.
only this.
Yeah. Well, here at the moment, there is a sense of, just wonder about that. Sort of feeling of.
Okay. Would the apparent you recognize that the apparent seeker in an apparent individual is about to disappear or
No. He
won't-
never was there, so how can he disappear?
Yeah.
There's no one. No. Gorgeous, isn't it? Fucking gorgeous.
Hi, Tony. It's a bit of an odd question, but when you say nothing is happening. Apparently, nothing is apparently happening. Is that an actual nothing?
No! Oh, sweet. Isn't that what you mean? Is it a real nothing? No.
Well. No. Okay.
Oh.
It's not an absence of something. It's
no, it's not an absence. There isn't anything to be absent because all there is nothing.
Yeah.
The seeker's always on the go, isn't it? It's always wanting, is it an apparent nothing? Is it attempting to be nothing? It can't just be fucking nothing.
I asked that question before.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did I answer it before?
Yeah, you said the same thing.
Probably not quite in the same way.
Yeah, you did exactly the same thing.
Oh, right. Oh, right. At least this is consistently balm.
Consistently nothing. But it's a bit difficult, as he says, there's this thing called nothing.
No, hold on. It's not difficult. It's absolutely, totally impossible. It's not difficult. Oh, it's a bit difficult. I've got to climb that mountain and that mountain. It's not difficult. It's utterly and completely impossible. So after all of that, Claire and I have simply loved being with you. It's been a lovely couple of days. Thank you so much.